originate from Carl Jung and his book on psychological types. Carl Jung is the student of Sigmund Freud, and Carl Jung in the 1930s, 1940s, he is a Swiss psychiatrist, and he proposed the theory of the collective unconsciousness. Collective unconsciousness means, I think you are probably familiar with Sigmund Freud's theory on the unconscious, but it's very personal, very subjective. Like it depends on which family are you born in, what environment are you born in, what kind of memory you have. You have that unconscious that control you that you are not aware of. But Carl Jung go one step further and say we actually have collective unconsciousness, which is exists before we are born. Like we have the templates of the minds that are shared across culture, across society. And these are the basis for personalities. And so he was the first to propose the 4 cognitive processes: thinking, feeling, intuition, sensing. And he was also the first to propose about extroversion and introversion, which is very popular now, but it was not so well known in the past. And the processes of thinking, feeling, intuition, sensing are still not well known because they are very abstract. Carl Jung's work is very abstract because it was mainly used to deal with psychiatrist patients. His goal is to use his model to help his patients to overcome their neurosis, their neurotic disorders, to achieve balance and the concept of individuation, which is related to ego development. So I think Jung said that one of the very main objectives of ego development is to achieve individuation, which is a renewed and more refined sense of ego, after taking into account more objective views of yourself and other people. And that is the reason why the MBTI becomes so popular, because it is based on Carl Jung's theories, but it's meant to be more mainstream. So the mother-daughter duo of Myers-Briggs and Isabel Myers, Catherine Briggs and Isabel Myers, actually study Carl Jung's theories and standardize it into this letter of 16 personality types, with each type have 4 letters representing extroversion, intuition, feeling, thinking. So those processes are now later coded. And then they develop a test that is very popular now. And so instead of this MBTI is not meant to help psychiatrist patients, but it's more towards helping people to find their best fit jobs, to discover their self-identity and their strengths and weaknesses. So it's a lot more practical and a lot simpler than what Carl Jung had. I think it's considered one of the most popular personality system nowadays. I would like to quickly talk about the problem with online information nowadays. MBTI itself is already quite a watered down version of Carl Jung's theory. It's meant to be more mainstream and to allow people to quickly take the test and read the description without actually proper understanding of functions or anything. You don't need to know that to read your description, and it's a test and then you get the results. And it's totally skipped the in-between part of the theory. And then nowadays you have the internet and blogs and free test, YouTube videos that start to proliferate and give you all kind of random and inaccurate ideas. Like I took a screenshot from this very popular, some example of some of the very popular YouTube videos. They are nothing more than just ego stroking horoscope reading videos. To be honest, a lot of people misidentify themselves as INFJ because I think they are considered more, their description are more attractive. And those video know that. And they just make a bunch of video, just talk about INFJ and put a bunch of random stereotype. INFJ, are they dangerous? INFJ, are they alpha? I mean, who don't want to be that? Why they feel that they are ageless? I mean, come on, these are just anyone, any type want the same thing. And you want to be alpha, doesn't mean you are INFJ. The tests are not accurate. The description are just reinforcing what you want to believe. It won't help you to get out of that ego formation, that ego trap. You are just stuck with your ego. So, yep, the test, MBTI test especially are not accurate. And if you take some tests, you might want to take a few tests from different sites. And you might want to complement that with your own understanding and your own self-awareness, or have other people, third party, or like your friends or family to kind of critique that for you instead of blindly follow the test. Another problem that is very common with personality system is that, yeah, because they are so wishy-washy, it's like you read a type description, like I mentioned before, any type would feel the same way. It's like you feel like any type description can fit you. They just reflect different part of who you are. Like I say, this the first screenshot I took here is for INFP, the mediators. The description on this very well-known site, 16personality.com. They are creative, imaginative. They lose themselves in daydreams. They are sensitive. They can produce emotional responses to music, art, and nature. Unless you are an extreme logical person who reject arts and whatever, you still, definitely everyone can identify with this INFP description. On the right hand side, I have the total opposite, IESTJ, the executive. The description is that they are the believer in rule of law, authority. They demonstrate dedication and honesty. They reject laziness and cheating, and they value hard work. Who doesn't value that? I mean, you don't see. I mean, yes, you kind of see they are kind of opposite in terms of description, but you can't say that an INFP don't value honesty or hard work, and you can't say an ESTJ don't value art or nature. So this description are helpful to a very superficial level. Unless you have a very, very good self-awareness and you say, oh, I totally identify strongly with one over the other, it's not helpful. It's not helpful much for you to go further beyond superficial description. You need to, how do you know why INFP have this characteristic? What are the things that run in their mind? What are the cognitive functions that they have? Of course, we all have 8 different cognitive functions. We have all of them. What are the orders of the functions? Why are certain characteristics are more prominent than the others? Then we have to dive into the depth of the theory and actually understand why. So my suggestion, my proposition is that to get through the online mumbo jumbo, you need to understand from the original source, from reliable source. Carl Jung, definitely, but some of the more modern people, such as Dario Nadi, he's a neuroscientist who researched specifically on MBTI. David Keirsey is a modern psychologist who developed MBTI into the 4 temperament system, for example. And you should and need to understand the dichotomy and Jungian functions. That will give you a lot of depth in understanding yourself. What are your functions type? What are your dominant function, auxiliary, tertiary functions? This will give you a lot of insights.